Hi, everybody. It's good to be here with you all today. Thanks so much for joining. Just going to check out the chat. I saw a bunch of you making comments. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm really excited to tell you all about You Are the Hero, my dream project, because it is exactly what would have needed when I started going through one of the biggest life disruptions that I had to face. And I would like that no one else has to face the same type of situation that I did. I would like to ask you all to say hi in the chat if you'd like, as well to ask any questions that you have along the way. The point of having the session live is to allow you to ask those questions that you have and to raise any concerns you might have or suggestions. I'm all ears. And if you could please put your questions with uppercase letters so that I can identify them quickly while I'm presenting. And I suggest we get started because we are going to talk about a lot of things today. So the first thing that I just want to bring to your attention, and hello to everyone joining from Brazil and from Spain. The first thing I want to bring to your attention is that obviously there's a worldwide problem, right? We have billions of people that are facing life disruptions. Third of the world population have multiple chronic diseases. There are loads of people that, due to being isolated and potentially stigmatized, have actually illness denial. And after COVID, depression and anxiety has increased by over 25%. We're in a new era of disempowerment. 44% of people do not trust institutions. And the health and wellness industry is completely fragmented, not only per city, per country, worldwide. It's extremely difficult to find information in one place and in a way that is useful so that we know how we can use it in the best way. And then, for the health and wellness professionals out there, I think what I'm, speaking to many of the doctors that I've worked with in the last years, as I went through my own adversity, my illness. Basically, I realized that a lot of them were having difficulty creating that empathetic connection with each person that they got to see, when sometimes they only were able to speak to the person for 5 minutes. So their lack of time is leading to them being commoditized. They need to find ways in which to actually, make themselves differentiate themselves from others, and grow their customer base. So in this context, this is where, You Are the Hero comes in. And You Are the Hero is basically, it's an inspirational two-sided platform. It's a community that brings health and wellness expertise through the lens of the empowering stories of others across all adversities. Why all adversities? Because we are all going through difficulty in one way or another. It might be detonated by something in health, where we're struggling, and then that leads to mental illness, and then that leads to another type of maybe emotional, dis-ease. And you know what? Every type of adversity, be it grief, be it, having a family member going through something tough, or ourselves going through something difficult, is something that is a common thread across all of humanity. And we all have a lot to learn from each other. So in this platform, in the You Are the Hero app, on the one hand, those of us who are going through adversity have the opportunity to share, even, who have been through adversity, we can share our story. The app has a storytelling guide for those of you who are struggling with how to tell your story. We have routines that are based on the coaching methodology that have been written by coaches and by psychologists and numerous professionals who have been helping people all over the world. And we're actually bringing them more reach by allowing them to help others in loads of other countries all over the world as we translate those routines into different languages. And the key piece is this trusted recommendations of the professionals that we can find. So we can put together basically our own path of who are those professionals that are going to be, are going to help us in our time of need, and figure that out through those stories that are going to empower us and make us realize that really it's in our hands. On the other hand, the health and wellness professionals, those of you out there who have been so critical to all of us going through difficulty, you're going to be in this trusting environment, and that's going to create a humanized treatment for all of us that are going through adversity. So when you're part of this community, you're going to become, basically part of that. And so you will be associated with that. And it's going to allow you to create that empathetic bond with those of us that are seeking your advice and your help. You're also going to be able to help your patients or your clients if you're a coach, or a yoga teacher, for example, and you're going to help them save time with the routines, because you have the opportunity to create routines, discussing that with us. And that way you can also suggest either one of your own routines or another routine that you see in our routine library. You can suggest those to your patients or clients, and that way they can do those while they're in between appointments with you. So it also saves time for both the patient or client and for the professional. And then, of course, the referrals that you're going to get are going to be positive, because people are writing referrals and recommendations with a genuine purpose and call to action, because you've helped them dramatically. Otherwise, they would not be writing this in this community. So you're pretty much guaranteed that, if someone's writing about you, it's because you've been an amazing, person in their lives and have helped them, dramatically. And that's why they're going to be writing about you. There are numerous concepts out there. We are basically bringing them all together into one. All the wellness apps out there are all complements. We will be looking to partner with them probably, in the near future on different parts there. You also have kind of one concept apps that focus on the patient experience. The difference is that they are very much focused on different types of medication, on the side effects, on what's happening. And as I said, our storytelling is really very much constructive and focused on the positive aspects of what the situation brought to you and what were the things that were most helpful to you. So it's quite a different kind of vibe that you get, and the type of information you get is going to have a completely different outlook and perspective. And lastly, you see the directories there on the far right. We are not a directory. You can't just go in there and look up in the search. When you go into the search, you can't just look up a doctor's name. The way you'll get to a doctor or a wellness practitioner will be through the story that someone wrote, or through a referral that someone wrote, which is kind of like a mini story in itself. So indeed, we have all these authentic stories, we have these effective self-empowered routines, and we have these data-driven, personalized customer experience that is going to make, looking through You Are the Hero, an experience that is going to empower you and help you take the reins of your wellness and your lives. So it's quite powerful. So it's the global app that brings you closer to the health and wellness experts you need through the lens of empowering stories of others like you. We are all heroes. We all have inner heroes within, and it's time to unleash yours if you haven't done so already, and find that strength that you have in order to overcome that, bump in the road that you're going through. So yeah, You Are the Hero. If you go to the website youarethehero.com, on the landing page, what you will find is both the information for both the person who would like to download the app and find useful information and etc. And we'll talk about in a moment the features that the app has. And a little bit further below, if you scroll down, you'll get to the section on professionals. So indeed, it's a safe place for you. This is not a social network where people are the product. We are not advertising. We're not using your data in order to advertise. If anything, our data will be extremely helpful in an aggregated, anonymized way in order to point the medical field towards the right direction of what to study. So You Are the Hero is also very committed to sharing this type of information in order to be able to also fund clinical studies that are looking at the whole integrative piece around how people heal and how people get better. So it's a unique opportunity to be part of that community that is going to give back to the rest of the world, so that hopefully next time around, when someone else goes through something similar, studies will prove things that are useful for them, and their doctors will know about them, and they will be able to advise about them. So when you're in the app, what do you get as a patient or a user? You get to see the stories of empowerment, as I said, and these stories are written in a way using the guide that I was describing before, and it will help you state what was most helpful for you, how things changed for you, what the process was for you going through the situation you went through. And you know what? You may still be going through it, and that doesn't matter. You don't have to have finalized your journey in order to share your journey with others. What this is all about is taking responsibility, which is the ability to respond about your situation. And what really counts is how you decide to live your experience, your life, your illness, whatever it is that you're going through. You have the opportunity to decide how you're going to live that journey. And so that's what it's all about. And if you share that, that's already extremely empowering for others. You'll also get referrals, as I said, to those people that were most helpful to others. And this is done through a very easy and intuitive interface. You have a search there on the bottom. You see the menu of the app. You have a little house, which is the homepage, where you can find the routines. The second little tab is the agenda, where you can find the appointments that you may have made with professionals on the app. Then you have your wall, which we'll talk about in a moment. The search button, which is where we are now, and then your profile on the far right, which is where you would go to write your own stories and referrals. And so we'll see that in a moment. But the key thing to remember is that when you go in the search and you do a search, what you will be looking for is you'll put in any word. It can be cancer, but it can be Alzheimer's. It can be, I don't know, grief, COVID, professional transformation, anything that you're going through. You write the word, and what you're going to get is a whole bunch of inspirational stories that are related to that word and referrals that are related to that word. And then is where the journey begins for you. You'll start reading about the different suggestions that people are making, the different stories. Those are going to empower you. You're going to be able to look at the different professionals. And as you go through, you'll notice that in pink, like kind of salmon color, you'll see the services that are wellness services. In green, the ones that are doctors. And that way you can also distinguish between the two that are being referred. And then you can click on them, and basically it's kind of circular in a sense that once you go to a referral, and the referral maybe is about yoga, but then you click on the professional, then you get to the professional's profile. And then from there, you can see all the other services that professional has, plus all the other referrals that professional has. And then when you see those referrals, you can end up potentially in the profile of a person, a hero, a user who has written that referral, and you can see what other things that person has written. So if something really, feels very familiar to you and sounds like it resonates with you, you might want to see what else that person has written about and what else they've suggested. So you can do all that through the search, and then look around the app and have your own kind of experience there. You can make appointments and chat with the professionals. As I said, most professionals have the chat function enabled. In some cases, they don't. There are some of our professionals that are world-renowned doctors who are working in numerous hospitals and don't have the capability to be going into the app and into the website where the professionals go. They don't have the time to be able to go in there and chat with people and take appointments, because it's done through the numerous hospitals they work in. So they don't have that enabled. But you can, when you get to their profile, you'll be able to see where the doctor is, and that way you know where to go so that you can make an appointment with the person outside of the app. But you will have seen what was most useful to others about that person. And then you can decide to go or not. And you'll be able to write those referrals of your preferred professionals. And these, you become a genuine ambassador for them. And our testimonials, those of us who have gone through difficulty, and all of us have gone through difficulty, but when we write a testimonial about one of the professionals that was critical to us, this is the unfiltered social proof that is really trustworthy. It's the word of mouth that we really look for. When we speak to a friend who shares with us something that was very helpful to them, well, this is the same thing. If we want to, we have had a great experience with a professional, we want to share that type of information with others so that they can also benefit from that, from that service. And so indeed, when you make appointments, you have your agenda, as I was saying before. You can see what stage it is in, whether it's been accepted by the professional, whether it's in the stage where you've made a request with the times and dates that work for you. And then you'll have a chat with the professional. And then when you write a referral, you will also have a guide of how to write the referral, just as you do for when you actually, write a story. So you'll see that it'll tell you, okay, please, put a rating 1 to 5 of this professional, and then say, why you went to this professional, what techniques did this professional use, and then what would you recommend to this, to anybody going to this professional in order to benefit the most from their services. So indeed, when you come across a referral, it's not going to be a referral saying to you that the facilities were nice and that they took you on time. What you're going to really find is information that really talks about what that professional did and how it was helpful, and how to maximize your time with that professional. Now, when you write a referral as a user, sometimes you'll find that the professional that you're writing the referral about is not yet in the app. But that should not deter you from writing that referral, because you will be able to actually generate an invitation to the referral to the professional through the referral for them to join. So in the meantime, while the professional is receiving the invitation and is deciding whether or not they want to join the community, we will also be contacting them in order to explain to them further if they have any questions. Those recommendations and referrals will still appear in the app, even if they are in anonymized format, because it's still useful for others to know that yoga helped you, in that context. And that's what this is all about. No, it's about giving recommendations of all sorts, not only of what you did, but also who helped you. So even if the professional is not registered, the referral will still be shown in an anonymized format. What else do you get? Well, you get access to those powerful routines that I was saying. And so in my journey, what I found is, I created these routines that I would do every day, and I dedicated at least 2 hours a day to doing these routines that were all about my mental and emotional and spiritual health. And it's really important as a patient and someone going through a difficult time to not only put ourselves in the hands of professionals, but to also take the reins of what we're doing. And so for me, looking into these different areas was really key, because I felt like I was taking responsibility for my own journey. And in my case, because I was in such a difficult situation health-wise, because there was no specific answer of how to deal with my illness, I took the routines that I created really seriously. And I was doing them 2 hours a day. I didn't miss a day. And I was going to all these appointments and constantly reading and constantly searching for answers. But what I found is that once you don't have that pressure anymore, like I had, I felt that I had pressure in order to solve my situation. You kind of, it's not that you loosen up, but you kind of think, okay, well, maybe I don't have to be so focused on this. And that's not the case at all, because the routines are helping you be healthy emotionally, sometimes also physically. For example, there are nutrition routines. There's routines about all sorts of things. But these routines are not only about healing, but they're also about preventing and about just wellness in general. So you don't want to miss that. And so we've created these routines, which are really easy to do. They're very short. They're daily, like 1 minute. of your time that you will not regret spending. And then you'll get to see the progress of your routines and the stories that inspired you the most and the professionals that inspired you the most on your wall. So the routines, as I was saying, are super easy. They give you some information, then they ask you questions, and then you basically look at it from your perspective. It creates a new perspective for you, and it allows you to then integrate a new idea. And then that new idea, new perspective, you carry through with you for the rest of the day. And it allows you to see things in a new light and to, consider things as they happen to you during the day with that new perspective. And sometimes you're asked a question that you can write the answer on a post-it. Other times you're asked a question and you can upload a picture and write the answer. And all of that will all be uploaded into your wall, which is private and personal for your use only. And you can basically, it's like a diary where you can go back and see, it's kind of like the Pinterest type of, bulletin board where you pin the different aspects that the output that has come from your work and the routines, as well as any story that was really interesting to you. The way you pin it is by saving it. So you see there's like a little bookmark next to the story title and next to the professional's name. So you pin it and then it gets pinned to your wall. And then you always have it there if you'd like it. If you want to unpin it, you can do that as well. But yeah, you're always able to go back and see what you did in your routines. And then many times, you may decide that you do a routine now and you want to come back later, maybe a couple, 3 to 4 months down the line, you want to come back and do it again because it allows you to, I don't know, possibly work on your values or think about, whether your behaviors are aligned with them, or maybe it's about fear and you're coming across that again. And so you can always access those routines because they're non-consumable. So once you've purchased it, there are some that are free. But once you've purchased a routine, it's there for life for you to do as many times as you'd like. So the app is for users. It's free of charge, except for these routines, as I was saying, though there are some routines there for free. And then for the professional, we're going to get to him and her in a moment, to finalize with the people, with the users, the heroes in the app. You get to share your story and help others with that valuable advice and inspiration that we all need when we're going through a tough time. So once you feel ready, you're in a trusted community and in a place where we're open-minded and respectful and super appreciative of any help that you can give. So please do share your stories and help us see that we're not alone and that you found your inner hero. And that way we will also see that we can find ours. So yeah, as you share your story, as I said, don't be afraid to start writing. I know it seems daunting. It's a really healing experience to write your story. You have to do a bit of introspection and reflection, but we've provided a guide in the app that allows you to ask yourself those questions and write the story. And you have a template. So it's not like you just face this like big space where you have to suddenly produce these words. Well, we actually ask you questions and it allows you to think about the different aspects of those questions and end up writing your story. And so this is such a gift to others. So don't doubt doing that for others to help them get through what you went through. For the health and wellness professional, as I said, on the same landing page, youarethehero.com, you just scroll down a little bit further and you're going to find the information about the features that you have as a wellness and health professional. You can sign up, you can log in. Everyone will have a 1-month free trial. It only costs $29.99 for a month and $299 for a year. You're going to find, I mean, this is priceless. This community is a priceless place to be. This is very small. It's very, very small cost. As we add value add services, then you can decide whether or not you want to have them. But having your profile and having the appointment making feature and the chat feature is already an extremely valuable set of features for you. And we're sure that you're going to find the maximum benefit from being in this community of people that are actively looking for help from others like you, like you. Who can provide us the guidance that we need in order to support our journeys. So yeah, what do you get? Well, obviously you get a very qualified lead generator because there's so many people that are looking for help in here in this community. You're going to get genuine testimonials. We heroes become your ambassador. There's a very powerful profile search. We have strong survey loops. So even apart from the referrals that you can get from people, you can also get we generate a survey when someone makes an appointment through the app with you. And that survey is meant to be a private conversation between the professional and the person, in which the person has the opportunity to give you any suggestions that they think could be useful. Like they might say, well, you know what, it would have really helped me to also have information about something else. No, or any suggestion that maybe the person has for you is a gift. Any type of feedback like that is a gift, obviously. So we want to leave that space open for that, because that's what this platform is all about. And lastly, I mean, imagine the type of information that we can gather about what is most helpful for our patients or our clients. So we'll be able to know demographically, whether for women between 20 and 39 years of age who have gone through certain illnesses or mental health disorders, what were the things that were most helpful to them. Maybe there was a piece around nutrition or a piece around certain type of massage that was extremely helpful. Well, that information will come up. And as I said, it's going to be very powerful for integrative medicine, but as well for the clinical studies that we are going to be funding through You Are the Hero. So we have lots of traction. We've been working with big hospitals. Right now, we're focused on Miami, Madrid, and Rio. You can also find us on our website, a bunch of links to podcasts where we talk about You Are the Hero if you want to hear more about it. And indeed, I, as the founder and CEO of You Are the Hero, I've written a book that is about to be published, which is super exciting. And we have some social change makers, some big, powerful social change makers who are part of that book and part of our partnership here. And so it's just such an honor to be able to work with them, as well as the World Happiness Foundation. We're doing a lot of things with them. And so, this is not only about bringing the health and wellness information that we all need to everyone all over the world, but it's also about changing the world's consciousness, and realizing that we all have that inner hero within. We all can get empowered. And not only are we going to be empowered related to our health, but that's going to make us be empowered about our lives. So we'd like to invite you to reconnect with our essence, with your essence, to leave behind your limiting beliefs and fears, get re-empowered and align with your values, create transparency in the health and wellness industry. Help us do that as we open up information sharing across borders. We have people all over the world that are signed up for the app. That information is just extremely rich and useful for all of us. And we want to reunite. We want to reunite with humanity as healing and wellness transcends all adversities. So in 5 years' time, we'll have 760 million users using the app around the world, empowered, taking ownership of our well-being and our lives and changing the consciousness of the world. And we all will be very aware that we are part of a global society. So we'd like to invite you today to download the app. There you have 2 QR codes. You can see the narrative of the app in the bottom one, on the blue one. And if you want to download the app from the Apple Store, you can download the colorful one. We will be, right now we're in iOS for users. Professionals always will access via an Internet Explorer. And we are in the process of developing the Android front end for all those Android users all over the world. So that's coming up. So watch out for that. And I'd like to hear from you. I haven't seen any questions in the chat. I guess you've been listening very intently. But yes, we will be posting this webinar on our YouTube channel for everyone to watch and check it out and see if you have any questions. And we will be doing webinars once in a while so that you can have access to more information live. So yes, I see a question there coming from Brazil. Yes, so the website is youarethehero.com. I'll share it there in the chat. It's in English, Spanish, and Portuguese, as is the app and the whole platform. So when you go in there and if you land in the page and it doesn't recognize from your browser that you're in Brazil, for example, and you see it in English, you can go up to the top right and choose the language and put it in Portuguese for you to see. So yes, thanks so much everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure. I hope I know and I hope the app is extremely useful for you. Honestly, it really is what I would have loved to have had at the onset of my journey. And it's been created with lots of love and lots of care. So I hope you find it extremely useful. I hope if you have any loved ones that are going through a tough time, you share it with them as well, and that you join us on this wellness journey and help each other. Thank you so much for joining, and take good care, and we'll be talking soon. I look forward to hearing from you. You can also chat with us on Instagram if you'd like, or through LinkedIn. And we will be in touch very shortly. Take care, everyone. Have a good one. Ciao. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Take good care.